Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sumant Prabhu. I am the co-founder of Vesto Education Solutions. There is this school in Mysore, Citizen Convent, which is a minority school, an affordable private school, which charges, say, 1,500 rupees an average per student per month fee. So the problem with this school is the management and the principal are very keen in introducing hands-on learning activities by setting up laboratories. But they are not able to set up any laboratories in the school. But if you think they are not setting up laboratories because of the high cost, then you're wrong. The cost is not the factor for us, for them. For them, the factor is the manpower, space, and the expertise to set up a lab and execute the lab in an effective way. That is not, they're not able to do it. And the whole curriculum framework stresses upon conducting everything, learning through hands-on activities. But they're not able to do it. And what is the impact of all this program? Because of this, there is no skill development for the students. And there is no platform for students to create something for innovation. I get an idea, I can build a model. No, I cannot build a model because I've not been trained hands-on. I cannot build a model. There is no practical exposure on the concepts, and schools are not able to raise their standards because of not having such innovative activities. So, serious problem, right? So, how many schools, such citizen convents are there in India? There are more than 2 lakhs affordable private schools in India facing similar set of problems of not able to carrying hands-on learning activity. That is where we come, Vesto Education Solutions. Funny story, me and Nikhil, when we started this company, we gave this name having this thing in our mind. We vision to in education, society and technology, that is Vesto. What is the problem for the solution that I was speaking about? We partner with such affordable private schools in conducting hands-on science training inside the premises of the school. We provide hands-on training for the students. How? We partner with schools. We send our facilitators to the school with all the materials. They take to the classroom. They make students to build projects for learning science concepts. All the science concepts is mapped from the curriculum. For example, how do you explain the concept of force for a 7th standard student? Force, I can bring up a student and say push or pull is a force. But where is the technology relation? So how about building a weightlifting jack? A weightlifting jack that pushes them, that can lift an object, and that is the force. I say there is a motor, there is an object, speed, force is equal to mass into acceleration. There is a direct relation with the technology. This is what they see in the car garage. I'll relate to that. Such kind of experiment projects students do. How about building a vacuum cleaner to learn about the concept of pressure? How about building a tornado model to learn the concept of how cyclones or tornadoes are formed? Every concept is learned through project. So that is what we do. We charge annually 600 to 800 rupees per student in that school to provide this training. So this is what we do with the schools. So what we've done so far, with this pressing problem and a daunting solution, where we have reached, we started in 2014 January, and so far we have been able to reach 10,000 students in Mysore, Tamil Nadu and Hassan, and we have reached collectively 1 crore revenue so far to this particular point of time. So we started from 11 lakhs when we started, and now we have reached 70 lakhs per annum. So with 10,000 students. So this is where we have reached. And having reached here, what is available and what we vision for is reaching 3 lakh students by 2019 through 700 schools in 6 districts of Mysore and 4 districts of Tamil Nadu. That is in next 3 years, we vision to have 24 crores on an average revenue per annum. So that is what we envision to be. To achieve this target, we have some speciality with us. What are those specialities? Our program is completely hands-on and project-based learning and a product. This is where I want to catch your attention. For conducting 200 projects, how many kits we need? Ideally 200 kits. So each kit has 50 materials. So then 10,000 different components. How about conducting 200 projects in just one kit. This kit enables students to build 200 projects completely. So that means this kit costs around 600 rupees. 200 projects means a student can build a project 3 rupees. That is what the potential of the product. This is a product that enables the training. We don't sell product for the students. And the process that we have built to achieve the whole program. Because we personalize according to the school, and personalization for the to syllabus and the timetable takes only 2 days. Coming back to the Citizen School again. They implemented our program in 2015, and now testimony to that, the principal says students got better understanding the science concepts and scientific temperament has increased. That is what they say. And students are continuously building models they want to. They are participating in exhibition, they are winning and everything. Next slide please. How do you achieve it? This is our quality statement. We invest our trust, we inspire our audience, we invoke creativity, and we endure quality. So, if you love what we are doing, help us reach more. Let's innovate learning together. Thank you. He is Nikhil. He's an electronic engineer and I'm a mechanical engineer. So we bring 6 years of together expertise in education sector. So Nikhil is the creator of such kind of products, and I look after business, help reach more schools. That's what we do. Thank you. How do we sell to the schools? You're asking about the revenue model or something? I mean, it's a one-to-one sales. It's purely one-to-one sales. Right now, we have only 2 sales people, me one and other one person. We are in 25 schools. We are in 25 schools, out of which 15 schools are repeated customers, where 10 schools this year we have got, the new schools, along with those schools.
Does this fit into the activity-based learning hour, or how does this integrate? I mean, when does a child do this?
Yeah, this gets integrated in the curriculum of the school in the regular timetable itself. How we do it is we do one session in a fortnight. That's alternate week. So this week, a teacher completes a concept on wind cyclone. Next week we come and make them build a tornado model. That's how it is. In a year, we will conduct about 15 sessions. Each session accounts for one project. There are about 15 to 20 chapters in every grade. That's how we do it.
What's the time that you have to spend at a school or sales to actually operate the project?
Turnaround time is minimum, I can say it's 1 month, but it can go up to 3 months as well. Turnaround time is average, I can say 3 months.
Yeah, my question was, once it's sold, then to actually conduct the class, is there any intervention from the company or the teachers handle it?
For the teacher to get this rolling once you've sold it.
See, once we sold the program, we allocate our facilitators in the school. Our facilitators in the allocated timetable, they will go to school, taking all the materials, they conduct the training, come back to our office.
Okay, so that's a cost for you.
That's a cost.
Okay.
A facilitator cost is there. We don't train teachers to conduct the program.
So effectively you sell this at 600 rupees per kit?
600 to 800, I say.
Per kit, per child. How do you bill? What's the revenue model with the school?
That's what the fees gets embedded in their annual fee structure. 600 to 800 rupees per kid.
Per child.
Per child for the whole year. For the whole year, for about 15 sessions, where we don't give the kit as a takeaway. We only do training. Kit is an enabler. Normally, we conduct projects in groups. Sir, our unit economics comes to 320 rupees when we are hitting the students in the schools which has 400 students and an average. 320 rupees. So I can say easily up to 80% of gross profit margin. Yeah. So that is where we understood when we started this business, we were using a lot of materials. Material cost was very huge. Facilitators cost was very huge. Then when we scaled down, when we innovated different products, this kind of kit, the material cost drastically came down. That is where we are able to reach to the tier 2, tier 3 customers with lesser cost. 320 rupees is the unit economics when it comes. So 600 we sell it at.
So the facilitator goes and sits through with different classes, 5th standard separately,
Yes.
Sixth standard separately.
Yes.
So in a school, typically how much time every fortnight does a facilitator spend?
So in a day, our facilitator will take 4 classes. Each class is of 60 minutes. In a day, 4 classes. The same way, we will make them work 5 days a week. We will not take them 6 days a week, 5 days a week. That means 20 classes in a week they can conduct.
The follow-on question, how do you keep everybody busy in the lean period? Because, all of us have this problem, right?
Yes.
That you have an academic of 8 months versus,
Yes,
or
yes.
less than 8 months effectively versus a 1 year full piece. So what have you tried
Thanks
to
for
do
asking that question, because I could not say that in the presentation because of the time limit. Along this regular program, what we do is we extensively conduct holiday camps like Dasara camps and summer camps, where that accounts at least 10% of our total revenue. It's a huge market. So summer and Dasara, that is October holiday, they are completely engaged in the camps that we conduct. And also on Saturdays evening and sometimes even Sundays, we have also set up after school hour program in Mysore. So where we conduct such kind of programs also. So that is where we are able to utilize the complete manpower in a very effective manner. And I should say the timetable, the process we set the timetable for the whole program is the key. If we can set that, then we will win this business. Yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Pranav Upadhyay, co-founder of Practice. A year back, when me and Yudhir, my co-founder, were discussing about what are the essential gaps that students face while preparing for MBA entrance exams, we came across a certain set of gaps where what happens, a faculty when enters a class, he comes across a set of students with a different level of aptitude. How does he manage the class at the same pace for everyone? He cannot do that, right? Everyone has a different aptitude level, so there is a disconnect between the student and the faculty that happens. Either the faculty feels the batch is slow, or the faculty feels that the batch gets prolonged, the batch does not get over on time. If we go the other ways around, if the faculty goes fast, the student will complain the faculty is too fast for us to comprehend. All right, so the gaps that we found out were the one size solution never fits for everyone. All right, the second gap that we found out was there is lack of instant feedback. When I am solving questions, when a student is solving questions, the student does not get an instant feedback whether the set of questions that he is solving is accurate, or in terms of the type of questions that are actually coming in the exam are the same ones that the student is solving. All right, the third one, the course fees is very high. All right, the course fees goes up to 30,000 to 50,000 per student. The entire preparation becomes very boring and students tend to drop out. After a particular period of time, students tend to drop out of the preparation for multiple reasons. All right, next. So what do we offer? All right, these are our key USPs. We start off with an adaptive testing platform. This testing platform is similar to the one that is there for GMAT, computer adaptive testing. All right, so that the student makes use of the time that he is investing while preparation. Based on that, he realizes what are his weaknesses, and he chooses the topics that he wants. He does not spend on the entire product, so the cost is less. He saves on the cost. The time that he spends is less. He saves on time. Now, what happens if the students drop out? To fight that, we come up with gamification. How do we engage them? We give them points. All right, for every activity that a student does on the platform, we give them points, we reward them, and keep them engaged for their preparation for the entrance exam. Next. So some of the features, we work on a premium subscription-based model. We provide unlimited content because when a student is undergoing adaptive testing platform, he requires, so if I consider two different set of people, an IIT graduate and a graduate from any XYZ college, IIT would want, let's say, 100 questions of a higher level of difficulty, and XYZ would require 400 questions of varying levels of difficulty to raise his bar. That is why we say we provide unlimited content. Next, to back that up, we provide data. We use the data and provide reports. Next. Social, we are social in a way that the students can challenge each other. If I don't get a question, I can challenge my friend to give a solution for that. I can refer my friends. If I win medals, points in the process, I can share it online on various social media platforms. Now, when I say gamification, we give points for different activities. What about those points? How are they as a useful feature for the student? We provide them a redemption feature where the points can be redeemed towards Flipkart vouchers, Book My Show vouchers, or can be used for redemption on the existing product. And there are other supplements like the e-library, etc. Next. So the entire scope of the market is Indian MBA, placements, jobs, UG, international tests, and civil services. The underlying feature amongst all of them is aptitude entrance. Currently, we are live with Indian MBA entrance exams. Next. Our current traction, 1400 users in 3 months with zero marketing. The users have come on the platform because what we have done, we have written answers on Quora. Through Quora, we have started getting this traction. All right, 1600 plus questions designed in-house. Next. So let me take you through the product. When a student logs in, he comes to the dashboard. The dashboard gives him option between to start practicing or to go to mocks. Next. This is how it's a snapshot of all the features, all the data that is there, his accuracy, his points. There's a redemption option. He can upgrade his plan. Next. It's a complete snapshot of what he can do. Challenge. From the dashboard, he can access all features completely. Next. This is how a question looks like, a very clean screen. A feature challenge, which is within the, while he's solving the question. While he's solving, he does not get a question, he immediately goes to challenge, sends a request to his friend. Next. Yeah. This is how the reports look like. Right, next. We have built a study calendar within the program. The student can plan his study. It shows compliance, how much has he been adhering to his study plan. Next. This is how the gamification screen looks like. It's a hyper gamification where the points scored and the medals won look like this, different levels, and a trophy is given for progressing. Next. What we plan to achieve, 35,000 users, registered users on our platform. Now the 35,000, we are not talking of only Indian MBA, we are talking of across the next 2 verticals that we intend to launch by July next year, placement and job entrance, and undergraduate entrance exam. Next. 450 plus academic content videos and a mobile app for Android and iOS. Next. The co-founders, myself, Pranav, and Yudhir Agrawal, we both are engineers. We post-engineering, we have 8 plus years of experience into the education sector. Myself, I have done an MBA from IMT Ghaziabad, and Yudhir has done his MBA from IIT Bombay. Next. So if you believe that we are here and we can revolutionize test prep, please reach out to us. Why practice when you can practice? Thank you.
So 2 things, if you look at the total assessment process, right? There used to be the one where I would do a GMAT, GRE equivalent, a CAT process. So do you see that itself changing in some ways, because everybody is now getting into say that aptitude is not the only thing that I want to measure, right? And then that becomes a common denominator. So what happens if that structure changes? Would you see that changing?
The structure probably cannot change immediately. It will take some time. And secondly, what happens, why they test an aptitude? Because after the 10th standard, the student gets into various streams. So he may specialize into an arts, he may specialize into commerce or science. The underlying denominator is 8th, 9th, 10th, which is common for everyone. And that is one area which can be tested and proved immediately about the aptitude of the student, how well he can fit in any of these programs or any of these jobs.
So I thought you were talking about a placement in job and undergraduate as your target market? You are saying it's not that, it's actually 8, 9, 10th, is it? What's your target market of student?
So the
What
target market is everyone who prepares for an aptitude test. Currently it is MBA entrance exams aspirants. As and when we get into placements and jobs, it will spread to a larger market who go for SBI Bank PO, IBPS PO, railway recruitment, other entrance exams, so on.
Have you specifically, have you looked at Elevate, an app called Elevate?
Yes, yes.
So structurally their claim is that they increase individual score over a period of time. Have you done any mapping associated with that? Do you know if you can actually show how a person has progressed?
Currently we have a very less data to actually create that study to show the percentage increase. But what we believe, if a student genuinely prepares on it, he can save up to 50% of his time that he spends on his preparation for MBA entrance exams.
I might have missed this. How much do you charge the student?
Yeah, we charge for starting from 500 up to 2,000, which is a subscription based. 500 for 3 months, 2,000 for 12 months, and so there is one more level: 500, 3 months, 5 topics, 2,000, 12 months, all topics. It goes. Yeah.
And all of the users so far are all paid users.
No, 1,400 are registered. We have paid users, but they are like very
Smaller number.
very small number. Agree. Currently we have 1,400 and we don't have mock tests as well. So mock tests, so CAT notifications come tomorrow. Based on the pattern that is probably expected, how it changes, we'll then bring up mock tests next week. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Hafiz Abdul Hashim. I'm from Netrox IT Solutions, Technopark Trivandrum. So, like for the past 3 years, not exactly, since 2012, we were actually we were a service-based company and we were making products for Italian public schools. We developed like ERP solution, academic solution for them. So, like we got expertise from them and we thought, why can't we make something like that for India? We have also experience in scientific trading, data mining and all. Okay, next. So, what we are trying to solve? Many of the colleges in India have dropout rates really high. The colleges' reputation are really affecting by this as well as the students' future. So, we try how to solve this problem. I'll tell you one example. So, this is Amal, the first semester student. Okay. After the second internal exam, this is his result prediction for the upcoming university exam, which is going to happen 2 months after. So, the chemistry, he got like 60% chance to pass. Solid state device 35%, and the mathematics 20%, and English 67%. So the mathematics and the solid state device he's gonna flunk. So university as well as the Amal can use through our system. So how can we improve him? Next. So this is Rahul's knowledge system for the subject mathematics, which he's gonna flunk. The chapter 1, he got around like 40% knowledge, and the chapter 2 around 33%, and the chapter 3 20%, and the chapter 4 nothing. So he, as well as the college, knows that he needs to improve, give more attention for the chapter 4 as well as the chapter 3. So how we achieve this? We use the power of predicting. We use the predictive analytics technique and the data mining techniques. So these are the techniques used by the corporates for knowing their sales, predicting their sales for the upcoming year. They are managing their resources and all. We brought that to educational sector.
So this is our intelligent academic management system, and the predictivity is the end product of this. So this is actually a one solution for like all the academic needs. It's an ERP solution. Next. These are some of the features of it. We have course planner, feedback system, user management, attendance management, and many more. So we use this data to predict all the for the data mining. So this is our team. I'm the CEO. I'm a creative designer, as well as I have experience around like 4 years. And the CTO, he has around like 8 years experience on analytics and data mining. And IT head, Akbar Hussain, he has experience on analytics and the software development. And our marketing, Vivek Ayappan, and the he has we have 18 faculties from different institutions to test our product and check the marketing feasibility. This is the product status. We launched our product on January 2016. We already have 2 clients with 2,126 students. We implemented 12 institutes with 16,500 students in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Next, the scalability. So this is a study done by the Department of Higher Education. According to them, India has today the largest higher education system. So it's a huge market. Okay, thanks.
So, what is the input that goes in to be able to get that prediction?
So our product generates question papers. We have to input the question papers. According to that, we have to input the marks back. That's how it predicts. And as well as like for the monthly exams, internal exams.
As a student, you must be taking some data from me.
Okay.
To enable that prediction that I am likely to flunk solid state.
Okay.
Right, so I'm asking you, what is the data that you're taking from me as a student?
It's actually done by the college authorities, like faculties especially. They're the one who is feeding the marks to the system.
Question I also have as a follow-on to him is that, so once you get all the marks, what gives you that probabilities that you are putting up on the bar graphs? Where do you deduce the probabilities from specifically? Is it just a percentile positioning on the scale of what others did, or is there something beyond that?
No, we are using actually multiple modules for it. Like a course planner is there. So each for a subject we divide the whole thing into different modules and topics. It's actually university already done it. University is already done it. You another is like the question paper generation is there. Okay. For each exam we have to generate the question paper from the system. Like that we have to enter the marks to that. That's how we generate it.
No, I think let me rephrase this, right? I think what you're saying, you probably have a set of questions and a weightage associated with that question.
Yes.
And then a probability of them getting it right or wrong.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay.
So this is based on how I have performed.
Okay.
Let's for a minute focus on the net outcome.
Okay.
I'm focused on passing through higher education because I want to get to a job. That is my net outcome that I'm going to go through.
Yes.
So what can you say about an individual's success in getting to that net outcome? For a minute, forget about what your weightage is.
Okay.
Can you say that this net outcome is this person is capable of getting a job or not capable of getting a job? Is that possible?
No, it's mainly into academics actually. Okay, scoring.
So I think that kind of answers.
I'll just ask in terms of the same, this very important part. Like when you say data mining, that requires data.
Yes.
So if I have taken question paper and I have taken an exam,
okay,
you straight have a result, right? You know, I got 20% marks to 30% marks.
Okay.
So when you do data mining, let's say I get 20% marks.
Okay.
Will you have a scenario where you have some other data you're using, tell me actually you got 20% marks, but your chances to succeed are 50%? Or will you tell only 20%?
20% only actually.
20%?
Yes.
So you use just the question paper marks.
We'll be taking considering 2-3 exams. They'll be having at least 3 internal exams, I think, most of the thing, and monthly exams will be also. We'll be considering all those things. It will be an average.
So that probability that you are getting, you are still testing it out. You
yes,
don't know the model works, so it doesn't work, still you are testing it out.
Yes.
Because those all have been predicted, but you haven't seen in real life.
Actually, according to our algorithm and our testing, it comes around 70% accuracy, close to 70%.
Yeah, but that's your
Yes.
mathematics part.
Yes.
You haven't actually implemented, seen whether a student will fail or pass.
Actually, we have tried with the actual data from a college for the past year, and results are already came out. That's how I'm saying that it's 70%.
Okay.
Again, good afternoon, everyone. This is Amit with Kapil. We are both co-founders of SchoolSaman.com. Who we are? We are a marketplace bringing sellers of school products and services online. I have 2 kids, and invariably, during the month of May or June, I get a notice from school, 15th June, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., class 5th uniforms will be distributed. Unfortunately, 15th June also happens to be the day when my half-monthly status meeting happens. Do I have a choice? No. The uniforms will be distributed that day during that time slot. What do? Obviously, I ask my boss, I ask my colleagues, stand in the queue at the school and wait for my turn to buy the uniform. Unfortunately, I have to do this again because my second kid is in class 2 and the uniform is going to be distributed after 3 days. So, half day off again. Well, can you imagine any other way of buying uniforms? Well, 6,532 customers dead, placed 9,285 orders over a period of 16 months at SchoolSaman.com. With 250 schools in 4 cities, giving us an online sales of 1.7 crore. We are SchoolSaman.com. So, while standing in that queue, and after talking to my colleagues, friends, we realized, what can we do? Well, very simple, right? We need to bring convenience to parents. Get out in the market, talk to the sellers who are selling these uniforms, and when you reach at the doorstep, you realize, well, they have a bigger problem. I have a problem of taking a day off probably. They have a problem of cost, scale, and planning. Well, I'm assuming all of you know the uniform season, or for that matter, education product and accessory season is 5 months, 6 months. I'm also assuming you know these sellers have to consume all their inventory within this 5 to 6 months. So what do? Well, they have got 10 schools, only 10 schools. As sellers sitting in the market for 40 years have got only 10 schools. Why? Because during that 15th June to 22nd June, he has to set up stall in each of these 10 schools. They have to hire additional manpower to support it. They have to move inventory from their godown to each of these schools. And obviously, not all of the inventory would be sold. So they have to move it back, which limits their growth and hence the 10 schools, which increases their cost. Also, instinctively, these sellers are digital aliens. They're planning their inventories based on gut and instinct, which is a bigger problem. Hence, we decided to leap into this world of providing solutions to seller and convenience to parents. Now comes the school, the second stakeholder. Well, I'm pretty sure most of you would have read the news and are also aware schools are not allowed to conduct commercial activities in their premises, and this has been for long. But recently, the state of Delhi and the state of Karnataka have strictly started to implement the same. What choice do I have as school? Ask my parents, I am going to offer you better convenience, go and buy online. Get it delivered to your home, and don't take day off. Well, the next slide was actually going to show you the screenshot of SchoolSaman.com. While we started with the uniforms, we have tangible market in play. There's the book sets. You don't get to buy book sets from anywhere else. There are accessories. Fancy dresses, 15th August, 2nd October, annual functions. Will you buy a fancy dress, or maybe you can rent a fancy dress? We have extracurricular activities. You need to search for your tuition classes. You need to search for your chess classes. You need to enroll your kid into the karate classes. Schoolsomeone.com is there for you. Well, we reach out to people, we connect them. And who promotes us? Who promotes us? You know who promotes us? Well, when the slide comes, I will show you the credibility of that, but schools promote us. Well, thanks. Go back. Our advantages. We are first to market. We have exclusive contracts with sellers of the school products. How does it work? Well, very simple. A lot of the people have been trying to, barge the door of the school market. Well, very easy, right? These uniform sellers have an associated relationship with the school for a period of years. Can I be friend of their friend? Can I enter the school through the trusted partners? Schoolsomeone.com ties up with the vendors who have an established relationship with the school. And who promotes us? The school. Delhi Public School, in a circular to the parents asking to buy online from Schoolsomeone.com. Delhi Public School telling the parents on their intra login, go and buy online. How do we earn money? Pretty simple. For every sale, we charge commission. We do have plans in play. The listing and advertising fee. Introduction fee. With us growing in the market, there are schools coming to us and saying, I need to change my uniform supplier. Can you help us? And we, with the ecosystem of our trusted partners, are trying to solve the problems of school. Can we help them with the partner ecosystem which we have built? And why we? This is a team of people who have worked for 10 plus years in IT services, delivery, and project execution. This is a team which have turned an idea to revenue in 10 weeks flat. This is a team which has grown to 21 members across 4 cities. And that's School Saman. Thank you.
So in your scenarios, how are the measurements taken? So when I have to make an order for my kids, how are the measurements taken if it's all online?
So in today's day and world, we have the facility of giving size charts. So a lot of these manufacturers are doing very standardized uniforms, and all the size charts are available. And at the same time, we do have return and exchange facility to, again, if there is a misfit, we can replace it free of cost. For the custom fitments, I think that at this point in time, we are not taking any custom fitment.
So not so much about I'll tell you. So I have kids. Every time the school, we have to pick up the dress. You have to go, actually they wear, they figure it out whether, even though I know the sizes are there, but you actually have to them wear and figure out whether, because if you don't, you for sure know there is going to be some return. And return is far more complicated process for you to manage in schools than actually the first time.
Well, you told it there. Return is far more complicated process to manage it in school, because you will again need to take a day off, go there, figure out if that size is there or not. So I'll come back to the question which you asked, right? Most of the uniform sellers, as Kapil pointed out, now have a standardized size. We are also in the process of educating and making parents aware. If your kid is already part of a school curriculum, which is continuing with the same supplier, easiest way, look at your old uniforms. Look at your kid. How much has he or she grown, and decide.
So there is a reference point always to rightly select the uniform. And the success we have seen with DPS is tremendous on that.
Could you say something about your competition? I'm under the impression that there are already companies that are doing this in North India.
Yeah, so there are 2 companies we know of. One is eSchool Buddy, which is a manufacturer turned e-commerce marketplace, and other is schoolcard.com. But the experience that we have got is, I think operationally it is a nightmare if you have not matured your systems and handle the kind of volumes that we have handled in seasons. And looking at their website, I'm sure they're not doing the way they are. And the other thing, I think to add to that is, School card also focuses on a lot of other things, but their connects with the schools are not there. What we have exclusive contracts is what we are trying to mark out our turf. So by getting into exclusive contracts.
There's also uniformrepublic.com. Uniformrepublic.com.
That's a Bombay-based, I believe. Yeah.
You're pointing out that people are very cost sensitive. I didn't get a sense of how you are in terms of cost and margins.
So we don't discount. The uniforms are available, or for that matter, any product is available at the same cost, no discounting, but right at your doorstep. We charge commission from the seller because in turn we are trying to reduce their cost, we are trying to increase their scale, and we are trying to make them as a trusted partner by taking them, away from the local market.
What's the typical sort of ticket size for an average uniform sold?
Average order size right now is 2100 something for us,
So
which includes not only uniform, but we are into other categories.
No, I think the point is, I know the answer. They're doing GMV of 1.7.
10 to 12%, correct. Yes. Sorry?
Still cheaper for the manufacturer than...
That's true, yes. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
This is Subramanian from mytrainings.in. We provide business-to-business e-learning training to companies using our portal mytrainings.in.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Gomati Ramesh from mytrainings.in. I came to Coimbatore 2 days back to attend this PitchFest and a boot camp at early morning 4 a.m. And I had to take a cab to reach my home. Though I look very confident, at that time, what was running in my mind? Would I reach my home safely? Is this the question that comes to your mind as women professionals who travel alone to any strange place, new cities, at strange times? Or to the men here, is it the question that comes to your mind when your wife or daughter or sister travels? Because unfortunately, yes, in India. If that's the case, let's go on.
So let's see the other side. I will share with you one true incident which happened few weeks back in Bangalore. My friend, Mr. Bharat, who is the CEO of a 120 crore transportation company, they provide transportation to many MNCs in Bangalore. When he opened his laptop one fine day morning 9 a.m., he got a mail that he lost a contract from a MNC worth 1 crore of revenue per month. So what happened? Just a week back, there was a sexual harassment incident that happened between a driver of Bharat's company and one woman employee of MNC. That lady employee has filed a complaint to the police station. The driver was searched and arrested, and Bharat himself spent 5 hours in the police station and to get out of this mess. The very next day, I got a call from Bharat. I know Bharat. And Bharat told me, hey Subbu, I know that you provide prevention of sexual harassment training to many companies in English language. Can you create a similar training program for me in vernacular language which will suit the drivers? To cut the story short, myself and Gomati, 2 weeks back, met Bharat, and we are launching our first module in prevention of sexual harassment, especially for drivers in Tamil language by around August 15th. And he already promised he will buy the subscription for us for English, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Hindi, because he has 2,300 drivers talking in all these 4 languages. So friends, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? What we are doing to our customers? Actually, we help our customers to be compliant to the law of the land. The Indian government, December 2013, has passed the Act on the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act. Please note it's only for women. Sorry guys, for men there is no act as of now. We have a General Harassment Act. So we are helping our customers to be compliant by training their employees through our portal. So how many members are entrepreneurs here? Can you please raise your hand? Yeah. So do you have a training program for your employees as per this law? Excellent. So there are so many companies where we talk, some of them don't even have the awareness about this act. They know there is an act, but they don't know it's mandatory to give the awareness of this program. Okay, so how we are going to scale? What we have done? So we have our portal, mytrainings.in. This particular program in English is already live, and we already have 10 paid customers who are using this program, and we already have the money in our bank account for this module. Future plan is, we are planning to come out with a mobile app in next 4 months. So why mobile app? Because in any behavioral training, once you take a training, then you tend to forget easily. So our plan is, even drivers have a smartphone today. Everybody agree? How much a smartphone cost? 2,500 to 3,000? It's affordable. We are planning to have our app, and we are planning to send 1.5 to 2 minutes content every week through this app, so that the imbibed learning is continuously given to them. So, what's our scalability model? Same training program. So once he is happy, he is ready to connect us to another 4 or 5 big transportation company across South India. Same program to different customers in the same industry, and then the same program with little modification, we can give it to similar industries like facility management companies, security services, hospitality industry. Of course, we have to change the content, the use cases, the examples we give, the assessment question we ask will be related to that particular industry. So, how big is the market? To be honest with you, I don't have an exact number. The market is huge because we can create many more training programs for these kind of target market. So what's our revenue model? We have 2 models. We pay annual subscription for one training model in one language and use it any number of times, or for small companies, per employee basis, we charge them. So do we have competition? Definitely. When there is any huge market, there is definitely a competition. So how do our customers currently solve this problem? We spoke to close to 100 small companies and little big companies as well, up to 1,000 employees. So some of them told they give handbooks in vernacular languages. Some of them conduct a offline training once in a year, but it's not effective in terms of cost or in terms of ease of use. So we thought, with the help of technology, we can reach more people. So who made this happen? This is a management profile. Myself, Subramanian. I'm an engineer and MBA from SP Jain, and I have 12 plus year experience in the IT field doing sales and marketing. I'm a sales professional by heart. And my another co-founder, Mr. R. Ramesh, he has 25 years of experience in HR function, working in many manufacturing and automobile companies in Chennai. And our another co-founder, Gomati, she has 20 plus years experience in the training industry, understanding the pedagogy and operations of many companies. So my friends, we strongly believe that we can make a great impact. Thank you, and over to questions. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So currently we have an advisor named Balu. He has 20 years experience in the HR industry, and he is a law professional. He is advising us. Of course, we are also planning to tie up with some legal companies so that we can give the right advice.
The content that you have currently, how is it certified? Because see, in terms of the government compliance rule, when the courses have to be there are certain regulation in terms of how the courses have to be, what content it has to deliver. So how is the content certified?
Yes, a very valid question, because we are addressing a market which needs a content is the basic thing for us. What we did was we discussed with our advisor, and we went through the law and made a content. And I went to several HRs, companies, leading women professionals, and did a market survey, ran through the whole content, validated it. With some leading lawyers also gave some inputs. Company secretaries who knows about this thing, who signs off this thing, they also gave inputs, and we tweaked the content and to suit all the things.
So if you take parallel to the ISO 9000 and the certification process, right? There is one where you need the material and you need the content. So in that sense, this I see more as a support to what you would deliver offline and say that this is what completes that process. How do you see that moving in a long term in a scalable mode? Because then either you have to put some kind of a certification process, or your content can get played back by lots of other people, because in the end you're looking at some kind of a digital content, right?
Definitely true, sir. And what we found out is, like, we are launching it. One thing is, this market is underserved. People normally talk to, if you take leading corporates with 5,000 employees, Infosys, all these companies have the modules online from MNCs. And all the MNCs also have these modules. But the companies with, say, 50 to 1,000 employees, they don't do this because even some people don't know, or some people think that it's too costly. That is one thing. And this segment is underserved. And the third thing comes is the driver market or the plumber market, who nobody cares to train. But these are the very important people whom we are interacting with. And the training in vernacular languages is another USP, because I need to talk to a language in which they can understand. And they are semi-literate or literate. So you have to make your content in such a way that it appeals to you. That's another strength. And the third thing is also, when you do this content, when you give this offline, you have so many, new things coming up to that, where you give the case studies, real-time scenarios, with the examples of judgments, with the expertise. So for the certification part, what we have designed is, at the end of the module, you get a certificate as an employee that you are certified in this on this particular date, but it's only from our company. We are planning to tie up with some.
So as you rightly asked, sir, today we are not legally enabled to give any certificates. We can certify that you have taken the awareness training. We are having a quiz, and you can pass through that. We can give a certificate. We are planning to talk to industry bodies and take their help, whether can be certified by CII or FICCI or NASCOM, so that we have the authority to give that. We are planning to check that.
Hello all, this is Harish, co-founder of Infinite Engineers. Do you all have seen this, still remember a room similar to this? Yes, we'd all obviously spent 10 to 12 years of our life in this room similar to this. Yes, we all. But there is one thing that has not changed in the classroom ambience for over these years. Can you guess some? The distance between the blackboards and the students. That has not changed. Even when my father studied in school, even when I went to school, even my sister is going to school now, that has not changed. It's still the same distance, okay? But you can even imagine there is no blackboard, we have smart boards, but still the distance is same. Yes, the distance has not reduced. But still we feel that the real purpose of education is not solved by this ambience. It cannot solve also. Yes, the real learning is not just noting down, not just writing. The real learning is inquiring, asking questions, making ourselves to change inside a particular classroom. But that's not happening. Yes, even I felt the same thing in school, college, and even now its problem exists. So what can we add to this classroom to change? I still remember my geography teacher who brings a big globe to my classroom. It's just a globe. It's a world globe. But I still remember the teacher because she took an initiative to bring that to the classroom and showed us and rotated. Wow, wonderful world. Yes. Next. The problem is more alarming when we have 51 lakh students starting class 6 to 10th only in Tamil Nadu alone facing a similar kind of problem. Next. Imagine a classroom like this where each and every student are experiencing science in their own way. Every student learning level is different. Not every student is same, but we can give them the space to think by doing these activities. It is possible by this. Yes, it is our classroom, and we call it as the hands-on classroom. The classroom, imagine a classroom where we do things, where we make mistakes, where we understand. And we're doing this by developing this box. We call it as the hands-on classroom, science, activity-based science learning kits. And this is mapped to the school curriculum. We have developed it keeping in mind the Tamil Nadu Samachir curriculum in mind, and we have developed this box. So what will be the user experience to this box? Yes, we have developed this box mapped to the school curriculum. Is that the part over, our work over? Never. We ship these boxes to schools, and we conduct a 2-day workshop, and we regularly visit schools termly, because we know that our teachers, school teachers, have tremendous potential. When they started implementing these activities, we could see wonderful change happening in the classrooms. The students who they felt teachers are so strict, I can't able to express, are starting to ask questions. Because when teachers started doing this, she has to be fun. She can't be strict while doing this. Next. So what has been our traction? Yes, we have been into 326 schools, and we have shipped over 2,900 plus boxes to these schools, and we have 4,000 plus boxes in order in our hand. And we are a key technical member in Tamil Nadu government schools, and we are in verge of signing a deal in Pondicherry government as well, because it's a similar model, similar curriculum there as well. So this has been our traction so far. And what has been our revenue growth? We started 2014-15 is where we tried a lot of things, how much ever we can. We tried different models, failed. Again we repeated, failed. Again we repeated, failed. Okay, fine. And in 2015-16, we got this model in hand that this works. When we went to schools, teachers started asking, okay, like I really need this product to make a change in the classroom. And our revenue shifted from 10 to 31 till July because of those 2,900 plus boxes that we have shipped to the schools. So why we are the best in doing this? We have a wonderful experience of 25 years of teaching experience given by Meera. And we have these are my friends. We studied in college together, Vimal, Aravind, and Jay Kumar, who always put their hands. They don't speak, they always do things. Okay? And myself and Jay Gant, we never get tired of knocking the doors of schools. We visited almost like 250 schools in Chennai. We never get tired. Because finally, we want to see those happy faces in classrooms, both in teachers' face as well as students' face. That is a growth. So what is the future looks like? Yes, now we have mapped Tamil Nadu curriculum. Yes, that's done. It's still a long problem, right? India is a very diverse country. We have a lot of curriculums coming up. Okay, so we need to get updated to those curriculums. We have started working on that. And next major demand is on the Max kit. Max is another major subject where we're not learning the right way. We all know that. Okay? So we are happy doing this. We are so happy doing this. And the real happiness that we get is after the kit boxes reaches to the student's hand and he asks his first question to the teacher. Okay, we get those data from the teacher. So that will be our real happiness. And we got some. And since the academic year started the one project has been completed. So to explain more about the project, the box has 10 projects. Okay, mapped to the school curriculum, science syllabus. And school will implement that. Every month, teacher will be doing a project. And termly, we will visit the school. Post doing of the project, we will have an online assessment. We have data of all the 2984 students that we have sold the box to. We have all the data, metrics, name. We have an online assessment platform. So we regularly tag how they are improving. The thinking questions will be there. We will tap those and see where they are improving after they have done the project. So the next is yes, we want to travel together. It's a major problem that we can solve, only we can join together. I hope we all join together to solve this problem and create, no other student should say, okay, I'll go to school only for PT periods. They should say that they go to school for science period, they go to school for maths period, and we can do this. Thank you all. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity.
So, very quickly, in terms of very surprising, I think 300 schools is a large number of schools that you reached out to. But if you look at from a order perspective,
yes,
this is translating pretty much per school around 8 or 9 kits max. 10 kits roughly, yeah, 10 kits.
Yes.
So this is, I mean, you have a large reach, but each reach of the school is not translating into large number of kits being ordered. So how exactly you are looking at strategy?
Yes, so those 320 schools are inclusive of the government schools and the private schools that we are working with. The private schools that we are working with, 16 schools, and the remaining schools are government. The government are validating first. So initially they ordered 5 standard kit box per school in 10 districts. So we sent 100 schools, 500 boxes, and the validations have done. And now we are going to ship it to the next 22 districts of 220 schools. 5 boxes each. So that is going to be the next step. If that is validated, next we'll go out for the students.
This is more of a government deal for
Government
you,
deal, yes, sir.
Okay.
What's your per kit cost and price? What is the
The per kit box, we price it around 1600 rupees per student per year. Okay? And the gross margin, the percentage comes around 60%. Yes.
The gross margin. So right now, your revenue of around, what you had a 31
lakhs,
31
yes.
lakh. Just tell me where that's come from. How many kits sold?
2,984.
Okay. So roughly
Yeah,
3,000
roughly
kits
3,000,
sold
yes.
into 300 schools. So roughly like you were saying 10. So is your goal to sell to the school or is your goal to have a kit in every child's hand?
Our goal is to have kit in every child's hands through the school. The school will add this cost in the fee structure.
Yeah, that's fine. But then the numbers are very small then on a per school basis.
Okay.
It's just 10 kits per school
That's what
right
like
now.
what government school have done is
One kit is given to multiple kids.
multiple students. What the private school have done it, we have done it for all the students in the private schools. So the private school numbers alone is 294884.
You don't have, the government schools have all paid for this?
They are paid for it, sir. 100 government schools in the initial phase in 10 districts. No, that's a plan. The next improvement is we are going to expand to another 22 districts, 220 schools. Yes, for the government school.
Do you have any impact data? Do you have any impact on learning outcomes? Any benefits as a result of incorporating this?
That's what's like. The learning outcomes is we have done the online assessment. This is the first year we have started doing that because we felt that metric is very important. So after every project, student will take a test and will have thinking questions. Each question will have a tag, the Bloom's level tag, and we'll get the report immediately of where the level is. So since the starting of the academic year, we have just done one project. We need to have a couple of projects to really assess like how they have improved.
So, you'll forgive me, this is not really a question, but there's some phenomenon happening in India which is larger than the startup ecosystem, right? Which is that you're trying to get inside the school like through an underground tunnel which is called a box, or like you're trying to fix education with boxes, right? Beginning with Flinto box and the guys at the beginning of this pitch, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
Is it like about scale? You want to achieve scale, so you use boxes? Or is it about a crisis of authority? Huh? You're airdropping boxes? So...
But the thing is like, yes, it changes. We could see impression, but the thing is, this box will grow. Okay. Thank you.
So lack of skill or inability to do a job is a common phrase that we hear among people today, right? Be it colleges or be it working professionals, everybody is complaining about people not being skill ready. So why is this so? So if you look at the current learning systems, most of the learning is very theoretical and there's very little insight into what it is, how it is applicable in the practical world. If you look at the assessments, they're mostly objective type of questions which don't give real insight into a person's ability to do a job. And most importantly is recruitment. How do recruiters assess people today? They look at piles and piles of resume, go through it and then run through interviews and then assess them. So it's a very lengthy process. And we see that learning, assessment and recruitment are all connected activities but currently are very disjoint. So let's give some statistics. So currently 5.8 million people graduate year on year across streams, engineering, arts, science, all that put together. And out of this number, only 1 million people are employable. And our focus currently is into the IT and ITES. So on an average, in around 5,186 engineering colleges exist in India today. And out of that too, NASSCOM has recently published a report saying only 20% of people are actually employable, right? And how's the scene looking in the industry? So out of the 10 million IT workforce, what the decision makers are saying is that close to 67% of decision makers are saying that there exists a significant skill gap. And how are the current recruitment models helping them? That is posting on Naukri or apply, career boards, their job sites and different things. What is the success rate, do you think? Only 5%. 50% of companies have reportedly cited that only 5% success rate is available. So how do we solve or address this issue? So SCAS is a platform which connects learners and recruiters through skill-based assessment and learning solutions. Next. So what we do is create, manage and deliver skills. So how do we do this? So let's look at one use case that we were able to solve. So Mindtree came to us with a problem saying that they want to recruit people for L3 support engineers, right? And there were 500 people who had applied for that position. How are we going to test L3 support engineers solving one complex problem? And this complex problem involved 7 servers per person with 4 GB server space and all that. And calculating the infrastructure costs and all that was completely insane, and we didn't have the infrastructure to do it. The companies itself, I mean. So how did we do it? So we provisioned our on-demand labs. So all you need to know is cloud, right? So through our on-demand lab, we were able to provide this complete infrastructure through your virtual machine where people can come, solve this particular problem like they would do in a physical infrastructure. And as the result of it, what happened? We were able to save a lot of time and cost. So ideally, the entire process took us 6 hours for testing 500 candidates. And the cost that for each lab, for setting up this particular virtual machine was $2 per lab, right? So that's a lot of cost saving for a company. So what are I already mentioned that the current recruitment models, if you look at it, mostly companies post on job sites, LinkedIn, and different things like that. So how do we address this issue? So we want to, I think you want to go to the next slide. So in our earlier startup, I co-founded a startup along with a friend, where we did corporate training in cloud computing, virtualization, DevOps, and some emerging technologies. We had the good fortune of training close to 2,500 professionals and built a client strength of 25 corporate clients, right? And through this experience, we came across this use case of Mindtree where they asked us, could you actually solve this problem? Is there a way we can do it? And this led to building this SCAS platform. We are 2 months old currently, and the MVP is getting built as we speak. So what's the process? So if you look at it, all the learners or the aspirants, as we say, sign up on our platform through their LinkedIn profiles. So what our system does is, it extracts all the skill sets. So we have a predefined skill sets on our platform. It extracts the skill sets and gives them an assessment, right? So whatever they claim to say on their resume, are they actually able to do it? Okay, so they conduct this assessment, and then we suggest, based on whatever results is given, we suggest what they need to do, learning solution, what they need to do to get to the actual point, and how they can address the skill gap. How does this help the company? They are able to get verified and validated resources. Next. So, yeah, next one. We can skip to the next one. So currently, like I said, we are 2 months old, and we are trying to bring these 2,500 people that we have trained in the earlier company onto our platform. And the 25 clients that we're working with, we have signed up with Adobe and Tech Mahindra, and we're also in the process of NDAs assigned with multiple other companies. We want to work with technology partners, some independent bodies like NSDC and TIE, and work in the skills development space, currently the scene that's happening in India. So our complete focus right now, if you look at it, is in non-programming jobs in the IT and ITES sector. Because the programming sector is addressed, but then the others are not. And then following that, at the end of this financial year, we want to look at healthcare and banking, primarily because we come from a very diversified team who has expertise in all these different areas. Next. So what's the ultimate vision for us? We want to create a marketplace where people can, a skills commerce store, we want to call it, just like how Flipkart came in and completely changed the way how we do shopping, right? So they aggregate people. So that's how we want to look at it. We want to create a skills commerce store where people can come, buy, sell, and showcase their skill sets. So we don't necessarily have to compete with people who are already in the market. They can come and showcase on our platform, and we can feed off each other. Thank you. So I have my colleague here with me today, co-founder. She's Bharti, and I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Vinodini. Yeah.
Am I right in assuming that what you do today is a lot of assessment, but you want to move towards skills? That is the skills enhancement that I thought started off and saying there's a shortage of skills and you're going to enhance it. So what I heard later on was all about assessing and finding out if you had that skills.
Yeah, so at the end of completing the assessment, we suggest a learning roadmap. So I explained that in the process. So we give them a learning roadmap, and so to address the skill gap, right? So we have content that is developed which focuses on hands-on learning. So this particular lab that we're talking of, giving for assessing a candidate, that can be used for practicing as well, right? So that's a platform that you can use for practice and also assess. So that's how we go back and suggest students that, hey, look, this is where you're lagging. You need to work on this, and we have courses listed on our platform too.
But isn't that what a MOOC would do to get a skills base? So I know there are lots of people offering banking related training on the internet, XYZ, right? So there's a tally training program that gets run by lots of people. So how would this be?
So see, again, that's what the marketplace is about. So we want to learning, assessment, recruitment, I don't think are very disjoint activities, sir. So they all have to connect. So if a working, for example, it's not, a lot of people assume that as soon as you start working, the learning stops. No.
I understand that. So what's your secret sauce? How do you stay away from saying, this is my entry barrier, others are not going to come?
Sorry, what? Yeah, so the assessment is the differentiator. So the assessment is the differentiator. See, where we give them a real look at, boss, this is where you stand, right? And you need to go back and learn, and then we'll make you ready so that you can get a job. But yeah, we are, yes. So our revenue model is so as far as the learners are concerned, so the theoretical part, that is the course or videos, whatever the classroom sessions we go through, we do not charge. But the lab where they practice and they go through assessments, and if they want a certificate of merit from us, they go through that. And as far as the recruiters are concerned, we charge them as well for the assessments. So we have a pool of assessments that we are building, which they can use. If they want to have customized assessments, then according to a specific job need, then we can create that as well. So that will be chargeable. And apart from that, on a per hire basis. So we're looking at buckets, so 1 to 50 people, so there's a range. And, yeah.
So just to clarify, when you say non-programming ITS, what exactly that would
System
be?
administrators, testing engineers, and different people like that. Because primarily, the programming jobs is being addressed by few players in the market today. So the likes of HackerRank, HackerEarth, they're working around that space. But considering that we come from a clearly IT services background, India, right? So that is one space where, somebody goes and then fixes an issue. Support engineers and those kind of people are not addressed at all.
So the only thing which I'll leave you with, I think that you've chosen IT and ITS as are there, with the whole robotic automation where you even won't need programmers to be there to create programs. I think you should look at as where the future will go with this kind of training and assessment with that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I've requested Shri to sort of summarize the assessment, the evaluation, and also pass some very important and very critical feedback to the startups, and also announce the top 3 winners for today's PitchFest. Thanks, Shri.
Yeah, unfortunately, no one's going to want to listen to all the feedback. They're all only going to want to know who the winners are, right? But no, I think. Overall, good quality pitches. Clearly, one must recognize that it takes a lot to come on stage here and pitch in front of a group. It's not easy. So, hats off to folks that have actually prepared, gone through that rigor over the past 2 to 3 days, taken feedback and ideas and inputs that the mentors and the others have been giving them. A few observations, at least that we came to. a few observations I think that we had was, and I think I mentioned some of this in the morning when I was chatting with you guys as well, which is that there are enough businesses which will scale and be successful without raising any external capital. You could easily be running a very successful business in education that's doing services and getting a steady stream of revenue and doing well. You don't necessarily have to be coming to pitching competitions or even thinking about raising external capital. So a lot of times, when entrepreneurs come to us, our advice to them is, look, you've got a good business going. Don't even bother raising external capital. You may not be able to scale significantly, but that's not always the end goal of anything that we do, right? This whole mindset that I want to raise money automatically means that you need to have that mindset for scale, and that's not necessarily there's no right answer or wrong answer. So that was, I think, one thing that we did want to share with all of the teams. And I think the other aspect that we did keep in mind when we came to the as part in the jury, when we arrived at the decision, was also around keeping in mind the fact that these would have to be startups which would be which can get incubated and or can work closely with Forge over a certain period of time, and that the incubation or the support that they receive from an accelerator or incubator like Forge can actually dramatically change the way in which the growth path or the trajectory of that startup could be. So that was something that we also kept in mind when we looked at the startups and came to a decision. And as a consequence, there are only certain types of models or only certain types of businesses which may fit into that scheme of things as well. So that's the other aspect. I don't know if there's any other feedback, Gopal, that we had. I don't know if is Ravi around. Sorry, any other feedback that you wanted to share with I know you alluded to some of it on the panel itself, and I didn't mean to put you in a spot, but I thought that you had good insights. So whether there was anything you wanted to share with the companies that pitched.
So I kind of was off of this.
One thing that I did share was not every business needs to look for external funding.
Great, yeah.
You could very well be a strong SME and just keep going.
Correct.
That was one. Anything else that you...
No, I think the fundamental piece I want people to understand is you will see here the same 3-4 points. Whether it was the fact that you need patient capital, is because it's a patient business. You have to build over it. Education is no different than infrastructure. It takes time for people, for you to make a change. So it's a patient business. If you are here, you need the patience and you need the passion to be able to work through that piece, right? The second piece, which is something that I think I've given that as a frank feedback, but the reason I come and sit in some of these cases is mainly because this is a great learning experience, right? So yesterday, when we spent 20 minutes with a lot of you on a one-on-one piece, what I found, and being very honest and very brutal, is that I found a lot of people resisting the kind of questions as though you had to justify why you had to do this. That's not the point. The point is that it's free advice, if not even free advice, it's free consulting of people who've done this for a long time, right? So accept the questions. You don't need to answer. You don't need to retort. You didn't need to have a ready structure. Accept the questions because it helps you go and formulate in your mind what is it that you need to get out as kernel out of that. So if there's one thing that I want to leave back as feedback is for a lot of people who have done the first time pitches, you've had a fantastic opportunity. Use this as much as you can. It's not about winning that particular one, but using this as a forum for you to garner that feedback. Right?
Thanks so much, Ravi. Thank you. All right. So with that, the moment we're all waiting for. So I think the goal was to have 3 prizes. I think, and that stays, except that the jury's conclusion is to bring in an interesting twist onto that. So we have 2 prizes and 1 sort of jury special prize. So the 2 winners of the PitchFest here at Forge as part of the Thai Entrepreneurship Education Entrepreneur Summit are Scars and Practice. And may I request Gopal to come on stage and do the honors. And the jury special mention, and there's an interesting reason why it's a special mention, is School Saman. And the reason why it's a special mention, congratulations, is the jury's view was this is really not an education business. but still deserves recognition. So that's the other the special mention or the jury prize. So Vish, if you could also come on stage, this is your show. Yeah, sure. And the team from practice, yeah, there you go. And our friends from School Saman. But once again, congrats to all of the 7 that came up here and pitched, and best wishes to all of the startups.
Yes. Thanks, Sri.